Now we will hear from our distinguished young alumni, Michelle Cho, a member of the class of 1998. Mrs. Cho graduated from Stanford University in 3 years, earning a Bachelor of Arts in Economics. She is an award-winning social entrepreneur and CEO and co-founder of Gladio, an inclusive online career navigation platform for the future of work. Gladio has helped hundreds of thousands of students, teachers, and counselors learn about the diverse array of careers and industries. Mrs. Cho entered Kinkaid in the first grade. She graduated cum laude and played varsity volleyball, basketball, and softball. Her three sisters, Christina, Grace, and Alicia, are also alumni. Please enjoy the short video about Mrs. Cho's professional career and time at Kinkaid, and then we will hear from her.
Well, first of all, good morning, everybody. Thank you for having me today. And I would like to thank the Kinkaid Alumni Board for this award. And I'm very honored to be here back at Kinkaid after 23 years. So I wanted to start with a short story. I realized a lot of it was in the video, but I'm a storyteller, so I wanted to start with a story. There once were 4 young girls. At the age of 11, 12, 15, and 18, they lost their mother to cancer after a 5-year-long battle. Most of their childhood was seeing their mother suffer through chemotherapy, losing her hair, losing her weight, her energy, and sometimes her spirit. When their mother passed away, they were left numb, unmotivated, and sad. Their father was now a single dad. He had to not only deal with the logistics of raising 4 children on his own, but he was also dealing with his own grief. He wanted to make sure that his daughters would overcome the loss of their mother and not only persevere, but also thrive in their lives. Luckily, before their mother passed away, their father and mother had put together a plan that if their daughters knew the importance of passionately pursuing their dreams, they would be able to overcome the sadness, find purpose, be self-motivated, and thrive. They knew this because they themselves had gone through their struggles. They'd come to this country from South Korea in their early 20s with $500 in their pocket and big dreams. And it worked, not just for them, but also for their daughters. Obviously, from the video, I was one of those daughters. My father, who is here today, one of the other rooms, inspired us and motivated us to find our dream and to passionately pursue it. So after my older sister went to college, I encouraged my 2 little sisters to find a dream, and I helped foster that dream. And their dream actually turned out to be our collective dream. Our dream was to move to California and work in some capacity in media and entertainment and live together in an apartment on the West Side near the ocean. We were obsessed with film and storytelling, and we believed that storytelling had the power to change the world. And obviously, years later, that's exactly what happened. After college, each of us moved to LA, me being the first, and we all ended up living in an apartment in Brentwood, working in different parts of the entertainment industry. So it's not surprising what I do now. I help people find and pursue their dreams through an education technology startup I co-founded with my sister Grace. Gladio is a public benefit corporation that helps individuals from diverse backgrounds discover, prepare for, and access middle and high skill careers. And we do that through our inclusive next-gen career navigation platform, where storytelling is an integral part. You know, one of the things that is great about getting older is being able to look back at your life and see how everything, every person, every experience, whether good or bad, every job, every random skill you develop connects and contributes to your life. And Gladio is a culmination of my passion for helping others to find and pursue their dreams, my personality strengths, and the skills that I have built in what I thought were seemingly random work experiences. In my early 20s, I worked in motion picture development at a film studio. Here is where I learned the basics of storytelling. I learned how to network. I learned how to pitch. I learned how to deal with very difficult people. In my mid-20s, I worked in commercial real estate investing, and produced an independent film. I learned how to fundraise. I learned how to work with lawyers to put together a deal. I learned how to work with a team. I learned how to create win-win partnerships. I also learned patience and how to pivot when circumstances changed. See, if you guys remember, in my mid-20s is when the real estate market crashed. And I quickly had to figure out how to utilize my skills in commercial real estate and pivot to flipping residential real estate, which was one of the only real estate opportunities for me after the crash. Then in my mid-30s, I worked in film financing, where I learned finance, and I traveled the world, where I learned how to get along with people from all walks of life and how to beat jet lag. I also volunteered in several low-income schools in Los Angeles and in the East Bay of California, Bay Area, helping students with college and career planning. And through this volunteer work, I saw a huge problem and need that students, teachers, counselors didn't know about all the careers out there. I mean, how could they? So how do students aspire to careers they've never heard of? And that was the origin story of Gladio. You know, running a company is hard, but running a public benefit company is even harder because you not only have to think about the economic bottom line, but also the social impact bottom line. But Grace and I were prepared because we had gathered the skills, the experience, the perspective, and the context throughout our career and used them to start and run Gladio. You know, I know very well that unforeseens, you all know very well, sorry about that. You all know very well that unforeseen circumstances are inevitable. I can't imagine how difficult and disappointing it is to be in school during a pandemic, attend school virtually, not be able to hang out with friends normally. But I do believe 20 years from now, you will look back and see how this time, this hard time, has contributed to your story. You know, I want to end with 8 things I wish I could have gone back and said to my 18-year-old self, which would have lessened a ton of heartache. Number 1, stop worrying about things that are out of your control. I'm still working on that one. Number 2, be kind to yourself. You will make mistakes. You will make bad choices. You're human. Don't beat yourself over it. Number 3, but reflect and learn from your mistakes and experiences. Aldous Huxley said, "Experience is not what happens to a man. It is what a man does with what happens to him." My dad always told me that mistakes and failures aren't bad. They're just learning opportunities. Number 4, surround yourself with cheerleaders. Not people who are competitive or don't want you to succeed, people who believe in you, who are willing to show you tough love when you need it, but also be happy for you when you succeed and give you comfort when you fail. Number 5, constantly check in with yourself. Are you leading your life according to your principles, your passions, your priorities? And are you taking care of yourself physically, emotionally, mentally? Number 6, learn for fun, not for school. And I know that's hard to hear right now because schoolwork at Kinkaid is very, very hard. But take online classes that you might not learn at Kinkaid. Read books. There is so much to learn and to explore out there. You know, I remember in high school and college, I was so obsessed with getting good grades, but not necessarily to learn. And I regret that. It wasn't until I was in my late 20s where I discovered the joy of learning and reading books. And it has made a huge difference in my life. Number 7, don't let fear cripple you. Ralph Waldo Emerson said, "He who is not every day conquering some fear has not learned the secret of life." And last but not least, trust yourself. Be yourself. There are people who are going to tell you to be a certain way, to follow a certain path. Or you'll see your friends go on a certain path that you think you should follow, but you really don't want to. Remember to follow your heart and be your authentic self, even when it's hard. I'm going to end with another Ralph Waldo Emerson quote. To be yourself in a world that is constantly trying to make you something else is the greatest accomplishment. I wish you all a great rest of the school year. Hang in there, be positive, and be kind to your parents because they're struggling too. Thank you again for this opportunity to speak to y'all. Thank you, Kinkaid and the Kinkaid Alumni Board. And I wish everybody good health and happiness. Thank you.